Hey guys, I'm back with another video. I'm gonna just do a quick little walk around of my 2020 Can-Am Outlander 850 XMR. Show you guys a couple things that I've noticed since the first ride, things I like, things I don't like about it, and just kind of give you my first impressions of my one day that I took it out for a ride there. I've had it for just over a week, and I'm pretty happy with it. There's definitely a few things that I'd like to change, but there's nothing saying that I can't do that in the future. So watch till the end and I'll show you guys everything that I've noticed so far. So the first thing that I've noticed so far about it that I like is I used to have a 2011 Polaris Sportsman 850. I put big tires on it, snorkels, and it had a lift in it and everything. And the thing I like about this is it comes from the factory better, really, already than that. Like, I put quite a bit of time into setting that thing up for doing some mud riding and everything. It had less aggressive tires on it. This bike's got the 30-inch ITP cryptid tires, and they're definitely more aggressive. My other tires were Maxxis Bighorn 2.0s, and I find that these throw a lot more rocks and a lot more sand. When you're driving down the road, it sounds like you're getting shot at. It just pelts the whole entire inside of the plastics with rocks and sand, which it's not that big of a deal. It's not really hurting anybody, but I had a couple guys with me, and my brother was riding right behind me, and he said that if you got too close, it was throwing up quite a bit of sand, and it kicks up quite a bit of dust. It's been pretty dry. It hasn't rained here yet this spring. But I mean, that's just on gravel roads driving, which is not really what this bike is made for, but getting around and stuff, it definitely happens. It's got tons of power. I found that it in low gear, you can pretty much turn the tires through anything. As long as the belt wasn't slipping, because the belt could definitely slip pretty easy if you lock the tires up too bad. It's got all kinds of power, but it was definitely a fun first ride. I don't really have any major complaints about it. Nothing broke, thankfully. Everything's pretty solid. Not a lot of suspension travel, I find. I find that, not that it's meant for jumping or anything, but even big bumps that sneak up on you on the trails and stuff, I find that they are definitely a little more aggressive than my Sportsman was. And I thought that rode pretty rough just because it had 2-inch lift springs in the back. They were a little bit stiffer. Everything was a little bit more solid, but for the most part, it's not that bad. And again, it's got pretty big aggressive tires on it, so I'm not expecting a smooth trail ride. That's not what I bought it for, and that's not what I really planned on using it for. So overall ride was pretty good. One thing that I definitely had to mess with a little bit and kind of figure out and get used to is the three right here. There's got the ITC mode. You can see you can switch it between eco, normal, and sport, I believe it's called. And when you put it, if you all the way to the left is eco mode, and it just adjusts your sensitivity of your throttle, and then normal is just how it normally would be. If you put it in sport mode, I found it extremely hard to trail ride. The throttle was way too sensitive. I found that I was always giving it gas to catch up to the guys, and then I had to back off because I was catching them way too fast because it would just take right off on me. I was also driving with the performance key, so it was in sport performance mode, and it was giving me all the power that it had right now. So I found that was a little sensitive, so I ended up bumping it just down to the normal mode and kept the performance key on, and I found that way more manageable. I could definitely see a time and a place where if you're out really digging in the swamps or something that you would want that whole throttle sensitivity all the way up and everything. But for me, I just found it when I was trail riding with the guys that it was way too rough. It was way too aggressive. It was just, bike would be jumping and then it'd be slowing down, then it would be taking off again. Another thing that I found too is this shifter. It's just got this small little handle on it. You can't even grab it with your whole hand. And I found that it's definitely too small. It shifts pretty, like it's pretty aggressive to shift. It doesn't just slide in and out of gears. I'm guessing it's probably just because it's new. But I find when you're trying to hold on to this with your fingers, if you have gloves on, it's almost impossible sometimes to throw it into gear, or shift gears depending on what you're doing. And I'm sure it will loosen up again, like I said, because it's brand new. So the more I use it, it will loosen up, hopefully. But that's just one thing. And I mean, like I said, in my last video, I was going to just swap that out anyway with something a little more aggressive. Just because if you could grab it with your whole hand, where you could actually grab onto a handle, I mean, like I said, if I grab it with my hand just slides all over it. And so, I mean, with gloves, it's not that great. I got the dial all set up where I want it here. I'll see how many, see if I can swap it and see how many. Right now, I got 3.5 hours on it. I put 41.1 miles on it. And most of that, again, was just trail riding. There was a little bit of swamps and stuff that we hit on the hydro line. And it was definitely, I didn't complain. I didn't get stuck or nothing. The one time I did kind of get stuck, all it took was just to back it up a half a foot and gun it again, take a little bit of a run at it, and I got out. This thing in 4 low, it's pretty heavy. I think it said it weighed 960 pounds dry. So you throw me on it with a tank of fuel, it's well over 1,000 pounds. So you definitely don't have an issue with the weight and getting lots of traction, especially with these big tires. And it definitely, I've never towed anything with it, but so far I found that it's pretty fuel efficient. It doesn't run hot or anything. I mean, the rad's up nice and high and it's clean right now too, so I don't have to worry about it running hot. But it didn't run hot at all. I don't even think the electric fan kicked in even once, which is nice. The plastics, I took it out and there's a couple little marks on it. I don't know, you probably won't be able to see them in the video. Maybe you can. There we go. There's a couple scratches that just noticed. I'm sure I could probably, if I actually spent the time to clean it, all I did was rinse it off with a pressure washer. And you could probably get most of those out, hopefully. But then again, I beat it through the trees pretty hard and it's not showing a lot of wear. The powder coating held up so far through the trees. The lights are pretty bright. I think they're pretty good. Actually, I was thinking about switching them out, but I don't really know if I'll have to now. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to record any of the last ride. I only recorded with my phone right now, and I didn't have any way to bring it out while I was trying to ride, trying to enjoy it and break it in and everything. I've never opened it up to see how fast it'll go. The break-in, some guys don't believe in it and some guys do. I've just been trying to follow their little break-in procedure that it has, of no aggressive throttle, no going over 3/4 throttle, and just to see, kind of break it in nice and easy. But it goes fast. I found that with these tires, going down the road, I hit just over 50 miles an hour, and it was walking back and forth across the road. Like when I'd be driving it and it would just be kind of doing this on me, and that was without any steering input at all. It's not really meant for going down hard pack trail, but it's definitely one thing to consider if you do a lot of trail riding. These tires and the setup may not be ideal for you. But then again, it also made for a pretty fun ride because you could just throw it sideways in corners and drift around corners and stuff, which was a good time. But my biggest thing that I've noticed is one ride, like I said, 41 miles I put on it. These plastics here, I had a pair of rain pants on, just nice waterproof pants, and they absolutely destroyed the plastics. You can see this, it's no longer shiny. And that's not just dirt, that is completely scratched right up. It's scratched all the way down here, everywhere my foot or my legs touched it. As you can see here, here's shiny, didn't touch it. And then down there, it's just completely dull. It's scratched right up. There's not really any hope in to bring that back already, I don't think. I mean, maybe if I give it a really good polish and wash it right up, I can get some of that back. But that's just one ride, so I'm sure if you actually took it out, these plastics would end up just completely scratched. and then they would end up more of a matte gray instead of a shiny gray or a shiny black. So that's definitely something to take into consideration when you're buying it. I mean, you could just throw something on it. You could throw a wrap on it, really, if you wanted to, and you would never even notice it, which may happen in the future. I'll throw a wrap on it too if I decide to. I just got to kind of pick out something that I like. I have a hard time deciding because it's quite a bit of money to shell out for something like that. Oh yeah, here you can see, right here's a piece of that. There's a sticker. I took all the stickers off, as you can see, and this is just the glue left over. But there's a sticker here. There's stickers back here that I took off, and I'll throw a video together of how I did all that, just because some guys show a bunch of videos on here and it just makes me cringe on how they take their stickers off. But this way you can't even tell the stickers were ever on there. The residue's all gone. So I'll show that, throw a video maybe tomorrow. I'll throw that together for you guys. But yeah, that's everything really. My first ride was a good ride. I have no real complaints about it. Nothing broke. There's not really a whole lot I would change. And I don't think I would ever say that I'm not satisfied. I definitely would be. I'd buy this bike again in a heartbeat, as long as it stays as good as it is. Lots of power. Hopefully it doesn't have any issues in the future. I went through and I checked all the snorkel lines just to make sure, because I've seen guys get them brand new from the factory, and their snorkels are already, the boots are coming undone and nothing's going to be waterproof. As soon as you get that into some deep water, it'll take on water. So definitely check those out if you end up picking one up. I don't know if it's all the bikes or if it's just these, that this specific model and year that Can-Am started missing them, or for whatever reason, but I noticed that they were gone. I definitely don't think I'll be breaking a ton of axles. They're pretty beefy if you look at them. They're pretty solid. They're big axles. They're twice as wide as my hand or my finger, and I'm pretty sure I'd probably break something before I got to the axles. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or any concerns about something that I might have missed, I'm still waiting on my hand guards. They're on back order, so hopefully the dealership gets them soon here and sends them down my way. And then I'll show you guys throwing those on. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions of anything to do with this bike or the ride or anything, just throw a comment below. You guys can like the video if you want. Subscribe if you want to look at more of it, get more videos in the future. I'll be throwing some more together. I got lots of work I want to do to this thing this summer and next spring, hopefully. Hopefully I'm going to get some more truck videos too. I got my K3500 back today. I swapped the distributor and the distributor cap out, and it's running super good. It's running strong. So now I just got to finish up the exhaust work on it and take it in and get it safetied. And then hopefully after that, it'll be ready to go on the road, and I'll be able to throw some more videos of me doing all kinds of stuff, because I have tons I want to do to that too. And my Dodge, and then I got my black GM still sitting outside that I got to do a transmission in, so I'll probably throw videos together for all of that. But yeah, I just want to keep up with any of those builds. You can subscribe to my channel and leave comments if there's anything that you want to suggest, and I'll get back to every comment. As long as they're positive, of course. I'm not going to waste my time with people who think they're better. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.